You know, Just Pearly Things? Very admirable woman. She says what I've been screaming for years, which is women shouldn't vote. They should have the right to vote, but they probably shouldn't for the most part. As she puts it, they can't even choose boyfriends. She's a big on the YouTuber circuit, pretty naive. And I think what happened with this YouTuber world of these round tables, which are great for young people to get red pilled. I'm too old for them. It just seems like low-hanging fruit. You have some OnlyFans slut there and some trad chick, and the trad chick goes, yeah, porn is stupid and sad. And then the porn girl goes, I'm making like $500,000 a year. And they go, okay, I didn't say it's not profitable. Selling heroin is very profitable. Being a prostitute is very profitable, especially if you can get to the high-end world of Vegas. You could probably make, I don't know, $5,000 a night. And that's all that matters is money. I'm sure being a hitman and killing innocent husbands where a woman wants to get his life insurance. I'm sure that's very profitable too. It's also sick and wrong. But I first saw Just Pearly Things when she did that chick. She looks half Asian, and she was saying be subordinate. We talked about her a long time ago. She married some older military dude, very pretty girl, and super into trad. And I think she did a bunch of interviews. We featured her a long time ago. They were in a taxi cab. Do you remember? Do you remember what I'm talking about, Ryan?
Vaguely. How long ago was it? Like a couple months ago?
She got black hair. She's kind of cute, cartoony face. And Pearl was saying, tell me why women need a man or something like that. And they were driving around in the car in the back seat. And that's when I first discovered her. Watched her a little bit. And then I think what happened was that world saw that Nick Fuentes was Ye's manager. And that gave him a pass. And they saw he has a big following. So they go, oh, this guy is a slightly controversial dude. Not very. Let's get him on the show. Maybe he could talk about Ye and stuff and some of his controversial views. They're probably about how women should be at home. They didn't know who he was, I believe. So he was first on the Jump Up or something.
No Jumper?
No Jumper or whatever. Oh, is that the rap guy?
Adam 22 guy.
Is that the Adam 22 guy?
Cuck guy.
Yeah, someone my age should not be familiar with all of this stuff. But it is a very lucrative business, and it does control the minds of the young people. So it's worth at least knowing, having a cursory understanding of what all this is. And they didn't realize that Nick is a revisionist. He thinks that I shouldn't say what he thinks, but my understanding is he thinks what most of those guys believe, which is there's no way 6 million people died. I don't believe they were gassed. Oh, great. You're going to take that out of context. We have to tread lightly here because we don't live in a free speech nation, especially when it comes to the Jays. But they believe that the infrastructure was bombed out by the Allies, and so the Jays on these camps starved to death. And it was only 350,000, not 6 million. I don't care. It's like I care about the number in proportionate to how big it is. My biggest concern with world history is the 100 million who died with communism.
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
And hello, I am Gavin McInnes.
Together, we're Compound Censored.
And we'd like you to subscribe to our network that has more fantastic content you could shake a stick at. Use this promo code for a one-time super offer.
Do it. It's uncensored and oh so entertaining.
The vast majority of that was China with the Great Leap Forward. That's a major concern. So Mao is number one in my books. Stalin at 40 million, pretty big deal. Hitler's at best number 3 with 6. Or if Nick people are right, which I don't think they are, it's even less than that. We're down into like Pol Pot kind of a catastrophes. But so they had them on, Nick on, and Nick didn't pull any punches. He got over to the... And the thing that bothers me is, so what? Like, can we have a Turk on to deny the Armenian genocide? I don't know anything about that war. Let's have him on. What do you have to say? Would the Turks ban you then? Are you banned from all media? Well, no, the Turks don't control the media. And if you want to show that they don't control the media, maybe don't cancel everyone who questions you. I mean, if I was the guy in Animal House who ran Delta House, remember the guy? Guys, they're serious this time. That was me in Proud Boys. And if it was me in I'd go, guys, we can't cancel Ye for saying have too much power. That makes it look like he's right. Just let people say things. It's free speech. Debate them, win. But they had them on and got canceled. So what does it say here? Everyone's getting canceled. Oh, shoot. It's super gray. I don't think I can read it. Can you read it in the notes?
Super gray.
It's after everyone's getting canceled. But I'm reading like light gray on white.
All right, everyone's getting canceled. Fresh and Fit podcasts are officially gone
Wait, speak
on Reddit.
up. I can't hear you. Show yourself.
Fresh and Fit podcast is officially gone on Reddit. Sneeko is getting canceled on YouTube as well. Only a matter of time before Fresh and Fit are canceled on their YouTube as well. Pearl is canceled on TikTok. It's just so crazy to me that people are so fearful of the truth. A truth that's observable reality and based in studies. Ridiculous.
That was terrible. And what are you wearing? Okay.
My Nope Yup shirt.
It's good work clothes.
Workout clothes.
Yep. Workout clothes are not work clothes.
Well, I'm like the fun young guy. You're like the old suit guy.
So Pearl is in Britain. I think she's in East London, in Hackney or something. It's such a weird setup. She's got all these, her entire staff, all her producers are from like Kenya. Like everyone she works with is African. Okay. And you're in Britain. What? I think it's in, her show's in her apartment. And she was very mainstream over there. It's pretty mainstream here too, but she was on the local news all the time. Channel 4, Channel 5. She was on Piers Morgan. She was scheduled to do trigonometry with Constance Kissin and the other dude. But what's his name? Francis Foster? Those guys are all about free speech, right? Constantine lived in the Soviet Union. He lived in Russia. He knows how bad censorship is and how dangerous it is. But then Nick appeared on that show. All the shows he had appeared on are canceled now. And then Pearl gets canceled. So they go from having her on, we'd love to have you on, to you fucking bitch, what have you done? Totally attacking her. And Piers, I'm leaving out a major detail. After she had Nick on, she wrote a little fun song about why can't we ask questions? Why can't we hear about this? Why can't we hear about that? It was naive of her not to know that there's certain third rails you can't discuss. So Piers invites her back on. She'd been on Piers a few times. After the song, totally ambushes her, says, what the fuck have you done, you stupid bitch? And she goes, what's happening? What's going on? And now she's totally canceled, not invited to any mainstream stuff. She's still on YouTube, but Piers had her on to skewer her and make himself look better. So Piers, and I'm going to green screen this segment, Piers is almost literally saying, you criticize the that's the one thing you're not allowed to do. You're out of here. Fuck you. I hate you. And she's like, all I said were questions. Everything was interrogative. Why can't you talk to people? Anyway, let me show you what I'm talking about.
Who cares? Come on, everybody!
Whew. You can tell with her faces, she's like, what the that she had no idea that this was going to be the anti-Pearl episode of Piers Morgan. She'd had a great relationship with him in the past, talking about feminism and stuff, where you could say whatever you want about feminism. You could say women belong at home. You can say women shouldn't vote. You can say women are dumber than men. That's fine, because you're probably talking about white women. But to sing about Adolf and say, was he so bad? I mean, I kind of agree with Piers in the fact that, in the sense that, how did you not know you'd be toast after that? So here she is with her old buddy Piers getting dumped.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan Censorship. Pearl Davis is the self-styled anti-feminist influencer who's creating major buzz online with a contrarian view. She's appeared in a couple of debates on this show. It's called Uncensored after all. We welcome any honestly held opinions. But this week, she's facing a major backlash for posting a song titled Why Can't We Talk About the Jews, which she dedicated to far-right commentator Nick Fuentes before later deleting it.
Why can't we talk about the without getting kicked off of YouTube.
Kicked off TikTok for this.
Now, I'm not saying he was a good guy, but I kinda wanna know why. Now there's all these conspiracy theories.
I kind of want to know why. Now, yeah, he was bad because he rounded up Jews and put them in camps. Even Nick's version of events is pretty bad. I mean, you rounded up people based on their religion and they starved to death after the Allied bombs. But she's not just saying that. She's saying, I want to explore this subject. Why can't we have it? And I agree with her. I've said this to many Jewish people like Ron Coleman, John Goodman, Ezra Levant. Said, when these guys are getting to that area of anti-Semitism, why don't you sit down with them and have a debate? And they always say the same thing. They go, lost cause. I'm not wasting my time. I mean, that would be, who doesn't want to see that? Who doesn't want to see the top Jewish scholar on the and denier, whoever their top guy is, have a big fight and argue it out with all kinds of stats and papers and documents? Who wouldn't be fascinated by that? But no, that's verboten. And she's trying to say, why is it verboten? And I agree. And this is a new thing, too. As I've said many times, Richard Spencer was on ESPN. They were shitting on him the whole time, just like I did when he was on my show. We disagreed. But it existed as a discussion. And now that's called platforming Nazis and giving them a right. Well, if Nazism is so evil, it should be easy to ridicule and easily disproven, just like pedophilia. I want a pedophile on TV defending his depraved lifestyle. I'd like to meet him in the parking lot after. You remember David Duke? He was on CNN with Wolf Blitzer. They obviously didn't get along well, but this is back when you could talk to the enemy and hear their odious ideas. No, not anymore. Censorship. This show, by the way, is called Uncensored. The Piers Show.
And the more they talk, I think maybe they're right. But I can't even listen to the convo.
Well, Pearl joins me now, along with the New York author and founder of End Jew Hatred, Brooke Goldstein, over in the States. All right, Pearl, you've come on the show a couple.
So, what's her name again? Daniel. I know this chick.
End Jew Hatred, Brooke Goldstein, over in the
Brooke Goldstein?
Goldstein, but what? End Jewish Hate she works at? Brooke Goldstein. Yeah. Here's the thing. I used to do Fox News with her. She's a fucking genius. She's awesome. And she was encouraging me to go to, I lazied out, to this 4-day constitutional retreat where experts on the Constitution take you through every facet of it. I think they do the Bill of Rights too, and explain the origins and how they got there and how it was inspired by, what was it inspired by? Not a modest proposal, but what was that document that it was inspired the Constitution? I forget what it's called. But anyway, all that. And you get breaks, you have a lunch break stuff, you sleep in a cot, but you just are deeply immersed in the Constitution for 4 days. So she's no dummy. But she doesn't come across as very cool in this clip, I'll tell you that much.
States. All right, Pearl, you've come on the show a couple of times, right? We've had some spirited debates about feminism and stuff like that, and I thought you've made some good points.
Stop.
It's got lots of...
You can joke about feminism. You can be controversial about feminism. You can be controversial about a lot of things. I'm sure race and IQ is another third rail. But how did you not know that we don't discuss the Jews? Meanwhile, that's what the song is called.
Traction. Then I wake up the other day and I see this thing that's trending involving you doing this.
Stop. He's not talking to Pearl right now. He's talking to the powers that be and saying, I had no idea what this stupid bitch was thinking. Here I am, pillaring her live on TV, skewering her. I'm putting her head on a pike and offering it to you as a human sacrifice. Please don't cancel me.
Song. And I couldn't really believe what I was watching. I didn't know. Why did you find it funny?
Yeah.
Huh?
Did you find it funny? I mean, you know the backlash to it. I mean, you deleted it. You obviously thought you shouldn't have posted it.
Mm-hmm.
No, stop.
What?
I'm sorry I'm pausing this so much. She deleted it because she's right. Certain subjects create a malevolent shitstorm that is unsurvivable. Like, if this entire building collapsed, if I said a magic word, I wouldn't say the magic word. That doesn't mean I know the magic word is evil. It means I don't want this building to collapse. She's like a 26-year-old girl. She never heard of Nick Fuentes before she had them on the show. She saw him on all these other British mainstream podcasts. So she thought, oh, he's got a following, have him on. She never agreed with a word he said. And then when she saw herself getting canceled, she wrote that song saying, why am I getting canceled? And then the canceling really began.
Why did you do that? Genuine question.
I mean, the point was more about cancel culture and people getting kicked off of social media. If you finish the song, it was more about, like, you can't talk about this topic without being canceled by the left and the right. I don't really have a strong opinion either way. It was kind of just like tongue in cheek. I didn't really expect it to get that crazy. It wasn't dedicated to anyone. I don't know why they say that, but that's not true.
I mean, Nick Fuentes is a white supremacist.
Stop. Says who? You know, the definition of white supremacist today is if you don't hate whites, then you think they're supreme. He likes white people. We went to AFPAC 2, I think it was, maybe 3.
I think it was 3.
3. There was not a ton, but there was at least 6 black dudes there that we interviewed. We did a little funny mockumentary on it. So would they be at a place where someone was arguing that whites are superior? And listen to the way he just says that like it's a fact. A white supremacist thinks that whites, not only does he believe that whites are better than any other race, but they shouldn't race mix with any other race, and every other race has to leave America. Leave Europe too, I guess. Leave the West. So you're never going to meet one. You're never going to meet a white supremacist. Yet it's just hurled around like a Sagittarius or a fucking someone with dandruff. He says it so factually.
A Holocaust denier. He said afterwards that you had dropped a diss track on the Jews, which he clearly took to be something which was, you know, mocking Jewish people.
Stop.
Talking about...
If he did call it a diss track on the Jews, there's obviously a sense of humor there. They're just incapable of imagining that anyone on this side of the aisle is funny. And yeah, revisionist is the term that he prefers. But why are we so scared of that? Why are we so scared of ideas? What about if I deny the Holodomor? Or what if I completely deny the Great Leap Forward and I say Mao didn't kill 80 million people? Would anyone have a problem with that? No. And they regularly do that. Walk around the East Village, you'll see Mao on people's totes, like it's totes normal.
I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy, but I want to know why. What do you want to know why?
Well, it was more like, why can't we talk about it? It wasn't like
you talked
one
about
way
the
or
more
the
conspiracy
other.
theories you've heard about Hitler and the Holocaust, presumably.
I'm a fan of conspiracy theory. Like, you know, people think I'm part of the CIA. There's a whole conspiracy thing online.
Look,
and,
stop.
You know,
there's a whole conspiracy theory. I only found out about this recently, but there's a whole conspiracy theory that if he's not alive, he was alive for many years. And the DNA they found on the guy that they said was him isn't him. That's interesting to me. I want to hear more about that. Why can't I learn more about that?
No, I'm not for like silencing it either way. The point of the song isn't like I really have an opinion on the matter. It's more, I don't think we should ban people off of social media. So far so that I don't even, like, I think it should be illegal to ban anybody off of social media unless they're inciting violence. That was the point of the song. I'm not really...
Very reasonable.
It was more like
That's what free
tongue-in-cheek.
speech is, by the way. And it's ironic that this show is called Uncensored because I've been waiting to do this for a while. I think this is from July. This is the last time she'll ever be on this show. And he's not saying we had a good run. He's saying this woman crossed us. Imagine like MS-13. When they go, hey, we're going to have you over for one last dinner. Don't worry about the fact that you stole from us, but we want to just meet you one last time. And then in front of the head of the cartels, he just goes, pow, and shoots the guy in the head. That's what this is. So she's not on the show Uncensored. This is her fuck you digital lynching on the show Uncensored, which is being censored. She's being censored.
What are the conspiracy theories surrounding Hitler, which you feel, the more you hear them, the more you're interested in them?
Well, I don't know, because I can't hear them.
Huh?
I don't
you know the ones.
I
You know the ones that Nick Fuentes.
Well, I wasn't even talking about Nick. I was thinking of Ye, to be honest. I don't know why they put that Nick was the inspiration for that song. I was
Because
thinking
Nick
of Ye.
is toxic. He's like me. Everywhere he appears, everyone around him gets canceled. Nick and I have a swarm of bees around us. And if we appear on your show, you're done. The New York Times did a piece on me that wasn't a complete hit piece and had a couple of okay moments in it. That guy almost got fired. He had to follow it with the hit piece. Los Angeles Times magazine did a piece on me that wasn't a total hit piece. It wasn't flattering. I hated it, but it wasn't a complete hit piece, and it had a flattering picture that a professional photographer did. They changed the title to be more insulting. They changed the picture to be less flattering, and publicly apologized. The BBC was just in here interviewing us. It sounded like it was going to be fair. The top brass canceled the piece. So we're living in an era of censorship. And this is what Pearl is learning live on TV.
Yay.
You are aware of the big backlash to this and the deep upset from the Jewish community.
I certainly am now. I just posted that song and I woke up and I was like, article. I was like, golly.
Right, but are you
This is
sorry?
crazy. I think that, my whole point was that cancel culture is wrong. I am not speaking one way
You're
or the
watching
other
someone
about the issue.
at the beginning of her cancel journey on a show that is about to cancel her forever. I promise you she will never be on Piers ever again. 100% guarantee.
The question is, why are we canceled for talking about certain topics?
So you would allow Holocaust deniers to have space on social media to promote Holocaust denial to millions of people? You have 2 million people who subscribe to your YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. That's a big audience of people.
I'm not at 2 million yet. I'd like to be.
Right, but you have a lot of people that follow you on various social media platforms.
Yeah.
You put a video like that up, and there are going to be some impressionable young minds going, hang on, what's Pearl saying?
Can you believe this is the host of a show called Uncensored, and he's saying certain ideas shouldn't be available because people might think them? He's talking about policing thoughts on a show about free speech called Uncensored. Yes, you should be allowed on social media to be a Holocaust denier. You should be allowed on social media to defend minor attracted persons. You are allowed. You can talk about minor attracted persons. You should be allowed to promote communism, the thing that's killed hundreds of millions of people. They say 100 million. I think it's much more than that. But let's just say over 100 million people. You can promote that all you want. And I am for that. I am for the right to promote communism on social media. I also want the right to refute it and argue with these people, but I've been denied that, of course.
Would you get in trouble if you posit the fact that maybe more Jews than 6 million died?
Yeah, isn't that revisionism? What if I think it was 10 million Jews? I know Crass, the punk band, does. They have a song that talks about the death of 10 million Jews. Isn't that revisionism? Should that be banned?
I got nipples, Greg.
I got 10 million Jews, Greg. Can you milk them?
Not saying he's a good guy, but I want to know why. The more conspiracies theories I hear, the more I have to think about it.
But
I took that to mean that you agree with Fuentes.
Why did you cut off the end of the song? I said, but we can't even have the conversation.
What is the conversation you want to have?
Without being canceled by the left and the right. The point is any speech.
No,
I think
it's not any speech. It's not any speech. What is the conversation about Hitler?
Some speech.
And conspiracy theories and the Holocaust
here's one.
You want to have?
Here's one, Piers.
Don't want to have any
There's a common belief that Adolf Hitler was obsessed with Aryan perfection. Blonde hair, blue eyes. If you didn't have that, you deserve to be gassed. That's just made up. Is that a conspiracy theory? He didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. We had Nazis all over the Muslim world with their stupid little swastika Pez hats. They were not blonde hair and blue eyed. That's just horse shit. Can we talk about the conditions of Germany after World War I with grandmas selling their bodies as prostitutes, underage kids? It made Sodom and Gomorrah look like an Amish community. Can we talk about that? What about the Treaty of Versailles and how brutally the Germans were being abused after World War I and the animosity that generated? These are all things you're not allowed to talk about. I'm pro-Israel, pro-Jew. I am down with the Orthodox and the Hasidim. I don't seem to get along with the seculars very much. I doubt their veracity as Jews. I call them Ginos, Jews in name only. They seem to be behind a lot of the people fucking up my life, actually. And the Orthodox Jews that I work with on a daily basis agree. But that can't be discussed. Why not?
Conversation. My lane is feminism. That's what
Well, you're
I'm
singing
talking
about Adolf Hitler.
Can I finish?
Yeah, but you are singing about Hitler.
Okay.
So you do want to have that conversation.
I want anybody that wants to speak on social media to be able to speak about what they want to talk about,
Including Holocaust
without
denial.
getting banned. Whatever they want to talk about.
Including Holocaust denial.
If they want to talk about that, as long as they're not inciting violence, I think people.
Of course they're inciting violence. They're inciting a hatred of
I think that
Jewish people.
Social media is the new town square. Right? You used to be able to go and say your opinions in the town square.
She should have brought up the Armenian genocide right there.
We have corporations censoring what can and cannot be said. And I think that's wrong. I think that should be illegal.
Well, let me bring in Brooke, who's been listening to this. Brooke, I don't think Pearl quite understands why the wording of this song, which she deleted, to be clear, so obviously realised this had not played out maybe the way she hoped. The offence it's caused to the Jewish community. Why was it so offensive?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on and for highlighting this issue. Not necessarily highlighting Pearl, but highlighting the issue that what you pointed out is that we're really facing a crisis of societal conscience, where someone like Pearl, who engages in hate speech, and actually the irony is she's complaining about being canceled.
She engages in hate speech? How? And I love Brooke, but I don't like this tone here of like this stupid young girl who has no idea what she's doing. She is very naive, I would agree. But what's the matter with naivete? Especially when you're a young person learning on a talk show. That should be an integral part of learning. I'm just going to have everyone on. I don't know. I like that Pearl didn't know who Nick was when she had him on.
And yet she's on your platform. She has millions of viewers on the internet and on social media.
Okay,
and she's complaining about being.
She's on Piers' show for the last time. You're watching a girl get dumped, and by Piers. She's also, as this is going on, she's losing all of her platforms. She's down to, I think, YouTube now, and as you're talking to her, talking about how she has mainstream acceptance, boop, 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 all the mainstream shows that would have her on, including Trigonometry, a show she's about to be on, are canceling her. So you're talking to someone falling off a cliff going, what are you talking about being down there? You're right up here. Okay, give it another 2 minutes, Brooke.
Canceled. The crisis is that this is what is profitable now. This clickbait, this type of racial
profitable.
incitement.
She's lost probably 50% of her income because of this. Clickbait.
On the internet. And, I'm sitting here, I'm listening to Pearl. I don't know if she's just plain stupid or she's actually quite intelligent and knows that what she's doing is so sensational that it's going to make her a lot of money. But I want to say one thing. Pearl will disappear. She will disappear like many others before her because this is something that's just a moment in time. She's like a train wreck. It's like a car crash. For example, you can't...
Stop. I don't think anyone is going to see Brooke Goldstein again for a long time. This is the first time I've seen her in like 15 years.
But she works so hard to hold on to her youthful looks that are slipping away with the crow feet,
and
laugh
Pearl
lines.
isn't going anywhere. Yes, she's been canceled. She's definitely left the mainstream, but she'll remain on the, not the underground, but sort of alternative media forever, no matter what you do. It's just like Nick Fuentes. Nick is not going anywhere. So all her takes are terrible. She's not stupid. She's naive. She's not malicious. This isn't some Machiavellian plan. And she's not getting rich off this. She's losing half her income. And she's not on all these platforms. She's just being canceled from all means. So that's 4 takes she's had that are total and utter shit.
You shouldn't be looking at it, but you can't take your eyes off it. But I want to make one more point. I think it's so important, especially on this platform. Hatred is taught. Nobody is born like this. And I talk about it a lot in my book about the dangers of hate education. And it's not something that we can...
I wish hatred was taught. The only hatred that's taught in schools is hatred of America, hatred of the West, hatred of straight white males. Hatred is taught. All right, class, today we're going to learn about the Jew. I fucking hate him, and you're going to learn how to hate him too. Tomorrow we do Negroes, Thursday's Chinks, and on the weekend we're going to do Muslims. You got to do, our homework is Muslims. We're going to learn to hate them all. What are you talking about? Hatred is taught. Love is taught to ridiculous proportions. Tolerance is over-taught.
So, if you enjoyed that clip,
Then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.